Welcome back to Mortgage Matters with Pinnacle Mortgage Planning.
Okay, we're going to have to sail now. We have a whole bunch of information to cover in a short period of time. We've been talking about the lease option, and this may apply to everybody who thinks they may not be able to purchase a home. Well, guess what? You may be able to. Steve Valenta from Pinnacle Mortgage Planning, would that be a fair assessment? Does the lease option work for people who just feel there are no other options?
It's one of the most exciting programs recently that's come out in a time that borrowers feel like they're not able to purchase a home. They're feeling down and out because of a recent foreclosure or because of a bankruptcy or because they know they have significant credit issues. This is a hopeful scenario where somebody who didn't think they were able to buy or was the last thing on their mind, it suddenly now creates an option for them.
And it's also not a painful process. You can get through this fairly easily. Let's talk to Travis Newton from Northwest Lease Purchase. We talked earlier in the program, Travis, about the fact that there were a lot of problems leading up to 2008 with people getting approved for loans who perhaps should not have been. So the lease option is a responsible way of getting yourself into the home you think you may not be able to afford. Would that be fair to say?
That's right. And over half the callers that call me and I take applications with were previous homeowners, and they're used to being homeowners. And they're great people, have great jobs, and have good money in the bank, and they just didn't even know this option existed. So we really need to educate, and that's why we're here today. Definitely
a buyer's market. Vancouver in particular is a buyer's market right now. First-time home buyers, say that young couple, maybe still in their 20s, this applies also, does it not? It would be an excellent option for them.
Really applies for anybody.
Anybody who's willing to get into this arrangement where you just put down a little extra money and you have the option to bail out, too, if you want to. Is that right? You've made that investment. You'll lose a little bit of money, but you have that money invested, so that's a really good motivation to continue to take the deal to fruition, as it were.
That's right. If you would have done a lease option in 2006, you probably would have been thankful that you did that, because you would have lost less money than actually purchasing a home.
And that's only 5 years ago, so you would have accumulated all that money, and you'd have that applied towards the capital on the home right now. So it's all positives to me. I mean, we saw a few instances where things can go wrong, but that's because of unforeseeable circumstances, for example, of losing a job, death in the family, those kinds of things. But those are going to damage you no matter what process you're in. So the lease option does give you, again, the option. You're not stuck into a deal should circumstances force you to have to change your mind.
That's correct. It's just a regular lease agreement with an option to purchase at a later date.
Okay, now we want to find out how to get a hold of both of you guys. Travis Newton first from Northwest Lease Purchase. Where can people reach you if they'd like to discuss the lease option?
3 best ways. Our website, www.northwestleasepurchase.com. It's NW Leasepurchase.com. info@northwestleasepurchase.com, or our phone number at 360-449-4229.
360-449-4249?
4229.
4229. Let's go to Steve Valenta from Pinnacle Mortgage Planning. Steve, if you would, tell us quickly how people can get a hold of you.
They can go to my website, which is www.myhomeapplication.com, or they can call me direct at 360-576-1919.
And if you would please, Steve, we have some legal business we have to get out of the way very quickly, so give us those numbers.
My MLO number is 205449.
And that's a whole bunch of information to remember all at once. But remember the phone number, 360-576-1919. Steve Valenta of Pinnacle Mortgage Planning. Also here today with Travis Newton, Northwest Lease Purchase. Guys, thanks a lot for explaining this. I had no idea about the lease option. I think we've learned ways that we can get into a home, even though we thought that may have been impossible. Rod McLaughlin, your host today on Mortgage Matters, brought to us by Pinnacle Mortgage Planning, AM 1550 and 1550talk.com. Vancouver's Talk Station.